All right, so living desert animal ID signs. Let's see, add-on plate system for mounting to concrete. So let's go over that. So lay of the land. I got jigs. I'm giving you two jigs. You only need one, but in case one gets kind of beat up or something, I'll give you provisions for two of them. You've got 14 plates, and look out for these gussets. Gonna have 44 of those. I'll give you a couple extra in case we lose some. So go over that. So this is going to just add on to the existing system, the existing process. So everything we talked about before is still in play. Nothing has changed. This is just being added, and then you just keep going along and go on with your life. So as far as the posts are concerned, we were waiting for confirmation. So this is the confirmation. So all of this, hold off till cutting, you're good to go. So we have 30 signs. You already made one for Mark 1. So you need 29 more, and you're going to cut them at 64 inches. All of them are going to be cut to full length. And then this plate system will be how we remedy that when we get to concrete. Install, pay attention, if you're paying attention to this, to show you what's up. So for fabrication, you're going to insert this after you do the bonk. So you go ahead and, go full jig, weld it up here, get it all done. And then when you do this process where you take that sleeve, the mounting jig or the mounting bracket for the skirts, you slide that up, do your bonk, weld this. Now, once this is in place, then this jig here will then be how you set your depth for putting on the plate. So the jig will be 3 pieces. I'm making it break apart. So let's get that set up here. So I'm making it break apart so that way it's easily removable in case there's some kind of issue. So I'll go over that here. So let's just say this is where we're at. So this is looking at the bottom of that bracket that you've welded on here. So that's this piece here. You slide that on, get that welded up. Then what you can do is cleco together the 3 bracket pieces kind of as I have it shown here to see if that works best. And then you're just going to kind of slide that under there. It does not need to like clamp or anything. It doesn't need to be perfectly centered or anything. You're just using the height distance of this in order to set the plate properly. Now the plate is symmetrical, left to right on the skinny parts here, but obviously it's not symmetrical this way. So I hope as a fabricator you see that. Anyway, so you're going to slide that on. The skinny side is going to be to the skinny side of both types of signs, the big ones and the little ones. Same bracket for both. And then the long side will be supporting the long side that sticks out. So then what you do is you put your jig, get your jig ready, and then slide your plate down. And then you're just going to capture it between the two. So you're going to bump the plate up against this jig. You're going to make sure the jig is resting up against the bracket here. And then once that's all said and done, that's where these 3 cutouts will allow you to access that. So once that's done, you slide the plate on like that. And so you'll have a sandwich view there. Then you can take your gun and you can access here and you can access here and you access there. That's these holes here. So on the side, you'll be able to tack. You'll be able to tack and you'll be able to tack. And then of course this side's open. So you'll tack all 4 sides, tack them very well, but don't weld yet. And then this is where I made this. This is why I made this, break apart, because possibly when you go to weld this on, this could then pinch this jig in place and you won't be able to get it out without beating it. And we don't want that because we want to be able to use this jig several times because you're going to do 7 and 7. So that's why you could basically pop it apart if you need to. Maybe you only need to take one side apart, or maybe you can just slide it out. Great, I hope you can. If not, that's why I also made these fins kind of at an angle, so you might be able to kind of, cant them to a certain degree and then kind of slide them out. So do what you can to get that out and then just reassemble it every time. So once you have that all set and your that's out of the way and everything's tacked, then you'll just go ahead and do the 3 gussets and go ahead and do 1 gusset on the long side and then 2 on the sides there. And that way this will be super strong. That's why I opted for 3/8, just in case somebody decides to sit on this thing or set their kid up on it, or they decide to lean against it, with their elbows and they're really enjoying looking at the meerkats or whatever. Just want to make sure this thing has a fighting chance of being nice and strong. So make sure you weld it up good all the way around, full beads, and weld these gussets up. And then that way, this guy will be ready to go. Now install, what you're going to do is go out there and make sure this. So this is the count. We're going to have 8 of these that don't have brackets, 8 each. There's 15 of both types, big ones and small ones. So 8 of those won't have brackets. So those for sure you use those up in the dirt. Now for ones that go in the dirt and have a plate, just ignore it. It just goes in the dirt, fine. But make sure you save the ones for plates and don't bury those. When you do run across a concrete, then what you're going to do is sawzall this off and go ahead and grind it smooth, and that way the plate's ready to go. And then just go ahead and bring the piece of 2x back with you, and we can use it for something else or whatever, scrap it. But anyway, that's how this is going to work. Is keep an eye out for the ones. There's 7 of each size that will have plates, and hopefully that's enough. And just keep an eye out for those. And if you run up against concrete, then you'll take the skirts off, and remove the 4 bolts, slide the skirts apart, and that'll give you access to in here, and then mount it as you need, and then slide the 2 halves back together and bolt it back together. Theoretically, the dirt mounted ones for install, we should be able to fully assemble them, and you go out there and just put them in the dirt and they're fine. But again, if you come up against the ones that need to do concrete, then you'll have to take the sleeves off in order to access the bolts. So anyway, so that's just kind of how I see it for install. But I think that explains it fairly well. So if you have any questions, hit me up. If not, good luck.